Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome and good morning to all the panels and also the lecturers. Before we start our clip today, I would like to brief a simple introduction to the site analysis and site synthesis in Site B. Before we go further, I would like to start our presentation today with sharing some information to this background on this site. Langkawi is located on the northwest coast of Peninsula Malaysia. Langkawi name was derived from the Lang, which consists of two words, which is Halang and also Kawi. The two words combination bring a meaning of reddish brown eagle. The Langkawi has 99 islands, which consists of 6 districts, which is Mukim Kuah, Padang Maksirat, Air Hangat, Boho, Ulu Melaka and Kedawang. Two-thirds of the island is consists of the mountain with forests, hills and barren rock. And the circulation from the Langkawi, it can be 30 kilos from Kuala Perlis and also 51 kilos from Kuala Kedah. For the site background information, the site is located at Jalan Padang Maksirat Kuah Langkawi. The Kuah is a district of Capital Town in Langkawi. The Kuah Town is also known as a tourist commercial center. There's a lot of new attraction that focus on tourism, and one of the biggest project in there is the Maha Tower itself. Other than that, Kuah Town is also known as a jetty and a stop point for ferry to stop by. The site is surrounded by the tourist commercial which nearby to the Bella Vista and Splash Out Water Park and also beside the Maha Tower itself. The buildable site for this area is 2.50 acres. Move on to the next slide. For the next slide, we are focusing more on the drawing details of the sites. For the section X to X, you can see the transition from the sea into the land is very high. And also, it shows the surrounding commercial tourism, which are Bella Vista and Splash Out. For drawing of section Y to Y, it shows that the site is nearby with the Maha Tower. And also, it shows that the site is located in the front of the Splash Out Water Park. From the 4 elevation drawing, it indicates that the site is surrounded by a lot of existing buildings, which are Maha Tower, Splash Out Water Park, Bella Vista, and the lighthouse. Other than that, the elevation also try to portray that the site is surrounded by a lot of natural feature with the vegetation on the land. For target user, we have narrowed the user into 4 target user. The first one is public. Public is basically people from the local area. Next one is tourists. Tourists is people not from local area to experience the knowledge of the Discovery Center. The third one is the researcher. Researcher can be local and non-local with intention to seek a details of information in the Discovery Center. And the last one is students. Student can be a group or one person with intention to have the minor information about the Discovery Center itself. Next, we are focusing in history, timeline and background. In 1916, Pekan Kuah Jetty already existed and it became main point for tourists to arrive. Kuah has become major town for Langkawi after increasing of number in visitors. In 1960 until 1987, before reaching 1990, Langkawi was not inhabited by Malay community. Mostly people in there depends on economic activities such as agriculture and coastal fisheries. While in 1987, Langkawi became tourist attraction after declared by government as duty-free zone. In 1991 until 1993, Padang Maksirat International Airport was constructed. For your information, this airport also served maritime and aerospace exhibition. In 1996, the most iconic place for Langkawi was built. The iconic place for Langkawi is Dataran Lang or Eagle Square as one of Tun Mahathir's project. In 2007, Langkawi was given status as Geopark status by UNESCO due to the oldest mountain rock in there. Lastly, in 2050 until 2021, the Maha Tower was constructed until now. The construction was started at 2030 as a symbol for communication and tourism purposes. Move on to the next topic, which is human and culture. For activities and attraction, the Langkawi has a lot of attraction and recreation spots with iconic spot near to Site B. One of the famous spot in there is the Splash Out Water Park and also the Maha Tower. Also, near to Site B, there are many shops area with duty free that serve souvenir stuff. Other than that, near to the Site B also, there are also the commercial area for the hotel. that serve as accommodation for the tourists. For the demographic data, according to the Bacin Penduduk 2020, for the gender percentage, male have 51.7% more than female. For ethnic percentage, Bumiputra hold the most percentage with 87.8%. For age percentage, mostly 15 to 64 years living in this town. The rest is below 40 years and above 64 years. For the carriers, in Kuah Town, we discover three main carriers. The first one is shopkeepers. The shopkeepers hold the trade stuff with duty free and mostly to be sold toward the tourists. The second one is hawkers. The hawkers sell the products at the street area. Mostly the item come from fishermen. And the last one is fishermen. The fishermen catch the fish and sell them to hawkers. Move on into the next slides. The next slide starts with the zoning and neighborhood context. From our observation, there are three zoning that can be identified near to the sites. The first zoning is a commercial area that focuses on tourism, which in the blue color. It consists of the Aina Seafood, Bella Vista Waterfront, Oyo Motel, Splash Out Water Park, and Wantai Langkawi Hotel and the shop lots. The second zoning is mostly coming from the residential area. And the last one is the third zoning is coming from the greeny area and also the private land. For existing utilities, in terms of water supply, we discovered that there are 2 water pipe, 2 fire hydrant and 1 manhole. We discovered that the water pipe come from the Syarikat Air Darul Aman. The acronym is the SADA. For electrical supply, we discovered that there are 4 feeder pillar TMB and there is no lamppost on the sides. Next, we are focusing on the circulation and accessibility. In terms of time circulation, from Langkawi International Airport, it takes 7 minutes with 3.4 km to arrive into the site. While from Dataran Lang, it takes 7 minutes with 3.4 km. From Langkawi Ferry Terminal, it takes 6 minutes with 2.4 km. And the site can be accessed from Jalan Padang Maksirat Main Road. For traffic volume, Monday and Sunday were selected as the data for the weekend and weekdays. On Monday, start with 9 am, the traffic is flow smoothly and fast. While 12 pm, the traffic start to slow. In 5 pm, the main road near to the site also have a traffic jam and start to slow. And the 8 pm, the result is same as the 5 pm. On Sunday, as the weekend data, it showed that 9 am, 12 pm and also 8 pm have a heavy traffic because tourist targeted time. Except for 5 pm, only main road near to site is having a busy traffic. Move on to next topic, which focusing on sensory and climate. From our observation, we noticed that the wind paths are strongly come from west direction. However, there are bad noises come from 3 areas, which are water crashing at sea, jetties and boats, and the major one is coming from water park. For the site advantage, the site have a good view toward the sea. For climate data, the rainfall average mostly heavy rain on September and October, and it leads at January. For temperature, it's high on January and February, low at August, September and October. For sea temperature, it's high on April, May, June and July. Average daylight, this site can receive 11.8 until 2.5 daylight per year with 7-8 hours of sunshine hours. Next, we are focusing on the next slide, which consists of man-made and natural feature information. For man-made features, we discovered there are 6 things over there. There are pathway, lighthouse, sports light, fire hydrant, stall and manhole. For your information, the lighthouse and the stall are not being used anymore. For nature features, we identified there are 6 species. There are hibiscus trees, screw pine, root tree, Indian almond, Madagascar almond, and kelad oil. Next, we move on to the most important thing in this presentation, which are SWOT and site synthesis. In terms of human agriculture, the strength it brings for Site B is the various activities going on around. As the area is open for tourists to explore, for the waterfront and also the location that is in between commercial areas, There were a list of activities at different places, such as the Splash Out Water Park. There is hardly any weakness found in this context as the culture gave out the best of the area. The opportunity that the site can work on is to bring back or enliven the local culture to the Discovery Centre that we plan on designing to promote the current tourism idea together with the community. Even so, the threat that the design could bring to the human culture is that it can eliminate the culture of local activity at the moment. In total, the proposed Discovery Centre building function are to promote culture and local activities in order to increase the tourism rate in Langkawi. In terms of SWOT and synthesis of neighbourhood context and zoning, the Site B is located in the dominantly commercial area where facilities such as retail, hotel, financial institution as well the theme parks are available. It has potential in attracting many visitors, both local people and tourists, due to the attraction and activities here. Site B is strong pursuit its location, as it is closely located to an iconic landmark, as well as a water theme park where our development in Site B can utilize this opportunity to create a new iconic spot that brings people together. On the other hand, the reality on site is that existing area did not attract enough people as expected. Hence, as a study relating to Discovery Centre project, the overall design and planning should be able to attract local and tourists, starting from its concept, the attraction inside and outside landscaping as well as other design conscious elements. In addition, providing job opportunities to the community could help strengthen the relationship between the people around to the site into the surrounding context as well as to promote tourism activities while spreading the culture of Langkawi. In terms of sensory and climate, the view can clearly be seen from Site B as it is by the waterfront and is not blocked by any building. Some might consider that the sound from the sea to be a weakness of the site as it can be too loud. Some of the opportunity include optimizing the best view by facing the building to the sea and toward the best view of the town. By orienting it to the sea, it can overcome the strong wind at the same time. The threat in terms of the sensory and climate is that the tree had to be cut down to make way the development, making a lesser and greenery area without them. To synthesize, we can plant more proper trees to provide natural sun shading and plan a strategic landscape design to make it more interesting. While for SWOT natural features, the strong suit of Site B in terms of natural features is that it's surrounded by decorative plants along the sides as well as the waterfront. The site is also flat land, which eases the construction of further developments. An opportunity to take based on this aspect is to add more natural elements such as decorative plant and shaded trees with a balanced and harmonious arrangement that will attract people to enjoy the waterfront. Meanwhile, the winners of the existing site are the secreted and unkept bushes. Therefore, strategic landscaping with the appropriate plants and vegetation will help attract more people to come and check the area out for sightseeing as it could enhance the beauty of the waterfront facing the sea. Man-made features and utilities of the site has to give benefits to the design. For instance, the artificial lighthouse acted as the landmark of the site, thus it can attract more visitors to come over. There was already an existing water supply from near to the Bella Vista, so it can be the main source to be connected with the building later. Meanwhile, for the weakness, the existing drainage is clogged with the dry leaf and trash. In terms of safety, there was no fire hydrant found. The lack of lighting source can be also dangerous, especially during the dark. Designers have to think on the right place to locate the parking from the entrance to. The current entrance into the site is shared with the splash out. Moving into the site, a proper parking area for both visitors and the service is needed from the site. As for the citizens, designer can propose noticeable signage near the sites. To synthesize, the designer can propose to cover the drainage line properly so that they can be in good use. As there were already existing water pipes, it is also the best to have the service space near them. Next, for the safety measure, it is best to have a railings along the waterfront to avoid any unwanted incidents. Other than that, noticeable features and signage are compulsory in terms of safety measures. Lastly, for circulation, the strength that it has is that they are easily accessible to the neighboring building, facility and services all the times. The only things unclear on this matter is there is no proper road into the site. as it is a private area, thus the public cannot go there without permission. With that, one of the opportunity it can be utilized the pathway. By having a proper entrance into the site, more people will know the presence of the building and will look more welcoming. Other than that, to think about the local who love cycling, it is great to propose a cycle lane into the site from the main road. To avoid road congestion, designer can propose two-way roads from the central roundabout into the sites. I think that's all the information about the site analysis and site citation for today. Thank you for listening our presentation for today.